You are listening to High Minds, the podcast where we elevate the conversation on culture, sports, politics, and entertainment. Stay tuned for a higher perspective at the intersection of everything.
What is good, my dude?
What is the haps?
What is the happening? This is High Minds. If you're watching, if you're listening on the podcast, what is going on? Matt and Andy here to talk about. We're going to get into our top 5 favorite movies of all time, which was really hard for me. It was really difficult.
This was really difficult. It made me want to do like top 5 categories.
Oh, yeah, like your top 5 dramas, your top 5 comedies, yeah.
But this one's good because I can get like I can do the top 5, and then next we can do, if we want, we don't have to do the next, but we can throw in top 5 comedies, top 5 action, top 5, because you can have top 5 of all of those because there's so many movies.
Yeah, let's do that next. What was difficult for me also is that The Lord of the Rings is 3 movies. So
yeah, and see, so I mean, I would put that all in one, because you have to go with all 3. If you could watch one, but you're not getting the whole story, you're not getting everything. So
yeah,
I would put that as one. That's that. Okay. That's just, that would be
all right. I mean, well, in that case, I'll have to add my number 6 in there if I add them all as one, because I did have 2 of the Lord of the Rings on the top 5, so I'll combine them to one and we'll go from there.
I mean,
like I said, official list.
Yeah, I mean, and then like I said, then we can go into like there's just each genre you can do. The only one I would probably, for me, would be hard to be like horror or something like that, because I'm not a big horror movie fan.
Yeah, I like, it depends on the horror. Like I don't like Saw.
Gory.
I don't like
gory.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I do love The Last of Us, which is zombies, but that's a television show as well as a game. But also like 28 Days Later, I liked the zombies. I did like that movie. That movie was cool.
There's some zombie movies I'm fine with. Like that kind of gore is different for me. It's like I'm going in expecting the gore stuff. I don't like. It's just like
I like thrillers more than gore.
See, horror. I'm like, I've gone through so much fucking just horror shit in my life the last 7 years that I'm just like, I'm tired of like thriller intense shit. I swear it's like I don't go to movies. Like I didn't go to movies the other night because it was just too intense. I looked at the preview. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm done with that intense shit. I want like funny adventure. I don't mind like suspense a little bit, but like some of it's like the Saw stuff, those movies, that type.
Oh, I can't do that.
I'm done. I used to watch stuff like that, and I'm just done with them. Even stuff that's kind of like, I don't know.
I'm kind of the other way. Like for some reason, I can't stop loving the most like kind of depressing stories where like your favorite characters die, or it's just like it just ends up it's a great, like the Red Dead Redemption as a game, Last of Us. If you're talking about like Ozark, like Breaking Bad, like all these stories like just they're great, but god damn it, sometimes like they're not happy endings.
There was a movie I watched here, it's been years. It was a Nicolas Cage movie. It was like he was an angel, came back to life and all this stuff.
City of Angels or
something like that. Yeah, and like we're watching. I remember watching with Sarah, and like it's at the end it's that feel good, like, oh, he's back together, they're alive, and then next thing it shows her going like on a run, and then boom, a car wipes her out and kills her, and then like the movie ends.
Right.
You're just like, oh, she gone. Like, holy shit! It just was one of those where you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
it was just crazy. I don't know if it goes, but it ends pretty soon after that. So like she came back to life, and because she was dead, and then now she's gone. It was just crazy. It was just, or he came back to life, and she was still alive, and he came back, you know, and like, oh my God, you're back. And then she goes for a run and dies.
Yeah.
She's gone. And that's how the movie ended. It was it.
You know, I always feel like whenever I'm watching something with Lindsay, when it comes to a moment like that, I don't know how Sarah is to watch stuff with, but Lindsay will just like get up and go to the bathroom just in the middle of something. And I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, oh, do you want to pause it? And she'll go, we were watching Ozark, and she goes out there, and I didn't pause it at first, and I watched the scene, and it's like all of a sudden this insane shit happens, right? Where you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's blown away out of nowhere. You're like, what the fuck? Like, this is one of the main characters, just out of nowhere. I have it paused. I'm like, she's like, what? I said, you don't have to pause it. I'm like, yeah, let me rewind it. And I just watching it. And she has the same exact response to me. She goes, what the fuck? And I was like, that's why you don't walk away when we're watching something. You never know when this shit's going to happen.
No. She's usually pretty good. She'll fall asleep.
Yeah. Oh,
she'll fall asleep.
Well, I just rest my eyes.
Oh, she'll fall asleep through in a movie. We'll go to a movie, and so the movie theater we go to has the recliners.
Oh, you got the classy ones, huh?
And they have heaters in them, so there's heating.
That's tough, though. You're gonna nod off.
That's what I'm saying. And like with her, I'm like, you're giving her a heated bed,
right?
Let's lower the lights really low.
Yeah. It's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah, and then you have a bottle of wine. Like, you know, it's like
some turkey with some tryptophan in there, you know, some of that too.
She's out. Like, forget about the wine. She's still out. So it's like, oh, so hard at a movie theater. That's just whoa, the loud, the sound, and still she's. Like, are you kidding me? But that's the only thing with her. So she doesn't get. I'll get up and randomly walk out sometimes.
I do it sometimes, but not. I don't know.
I was like, oh, I don't need a bowl. So I go outside and suck a bowl or some shit. And I just get up and leave. And then I come back in and get back in. I
get really hooked on shows, or I don't like them at all. I'm really like, it takes a while for me to like, or it takes I have a pretty high bar with shows, and movies are the same way too. Like I don't know. I don't like just going and seeing just some random ass movie again.
So this is how weird I am. So we watch a lot of like Love Island. We're watching one right now, Married at First Sight.
I heard of one called what was it called? Something with MILF. Cool.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard of that one yet.
Oh, there's it's something like
Too Hot to Handle, Love Island. All of these shows. We watch all these shows, and they're actually kind of good.
MILF Manor. This one's called MILF Manor.
MILF Manor. I haven't watched that one yet. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Is it online only?
I don't know. I've never seen it. So one of my it's on TLC. One of my
TLC. Oh, they have some crazy shows.
So Hulu. Yeah, MILF Manor. I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
That's funny. But so we watch these shows, and this is how bad I am now. Is like there's always like awkward moments and confrontational moments stuff. And when I feel like I see kind of weird confrontation, I'll get up and leave. Like I don't like to see it sometimes. It was like I'll just walk out and go outside, smoke a bowl or something, come back in. Or if someone you just know someone's just like, I don't know. I when I get uncomfortable on TV shows now, I'll get up and leave. That's how bad I am. Like, you know, yeah, it's horrible.
Have you ever walked out of a theater during a movie because it's so bad?
No, not yet.
Me neither.
I paid for that shit. I'm watching this shit. I'm
watching this through. Yeah.
I went to a movie that was like, and I didn't want to go, and I went. It was with a friend of mine, and it was and I hate just thriller crazy. It was the one with the subway, where the subway, like people were trapped, and it was a game, and they were getting killed, and it was like a puzzle to get through, and people were dying, all this shit, and it was just fucking crazy, and I'm like, no, and the whole time I'm just like, fuck the whole movie, and like I wasn't gonna leave. I'm like, I paid for this fucking movie. I'm watching it, and I'm like this the whole fucking time. Yeah, I'm horrible with that crap.
Not your bag, huh?
I'm horrible now, but
all right. Well, let's see. What do you got in number 5 spot of greatest movie of all time? Drum roll.
Mine. These are mine. So my number 5. I love this movie enough where I'm thinking about a tattoo of this uh, for this movie's on my body. And my number 5 is The Crow.
Oh, The Crow.
I love that movie. I've loved that movie
Okay.
for forever. The second one, meh. Just the first one. That's it. That's
the OG one.
Draven, Eric Draven. But The Crow, yeah. It was hard. I had a few honorable mentions that were right there on the 5, but out of all of those, I went through going, okay, which one do I love enough? Like I want a tattoo of this movie, so I'm like, this has to be my 5. None of the other ones I want a tattoo of, so it's like,
Yeah.
I said I would, and just because from high school, I remember high school. So we went to school like at Halloween dressed as the Crow, so it was like one of those characters for us, that movie at the time. And then then he dies in the movie, and so it made it even bigger. It amplified the movie and stuff, and so that movie's always just, I love that movie. Yeah, I think I own it on DVD. I bought the DVD. So
all right. Well, my since I'm combining the Lord of the Rings into one, my number 5 would be 7.
Oh, that was a good one.
Crazy movie.
I think I've watched it once.
That last scene just like gutted me.
Is that the one where they cut the fat off some dude, or I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it's all the 7 deadly sins, and there's the gluttonous. He's like eating all the spaghetti or something. Like
and then like they cut his fat or some shit, like, or something like. I remember that. That was a movie. Even back then, I'm just like, so a lot of that shit I miss. I remember bits and pieces of crap. I like blocked out of my memory. Like,
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I just remember it being like, just the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is a top 5 film of all time for me. Like, it's just so well done. But it's so horrible, like the ending with the wife's head in the box, and then he gets the bad guy gets him to kill him, which is his own sin of vengeance, which completes the whole fucking puzzle. But it's fucking brutal.
Yeah, no, thank you. Let's see.
Yeah,
I just remember bits and pieces of it. Maybe that was one of them. I just turned it off or left the room. Like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't remember that fat guy. That's all I remember of that movie.
Yeah. I think I know the scene you're talking about. It's pretty difficult to look at.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not my kind of movie.
Not this guy. All right, number 4.
All right, my number 4, The Goonies. I love The Goonies.
Goonies is good.
Did
you hear there's going to be a remake? How do you feel about remakes? They're just trying to tap into your nostalgia, aren't they?
Yeah, because they know that era is at the point where they have money to spend to go watch this movie.
Yeah.
Realistically, I don't think I don't know. I'd probably go see it.
I go see it, which proves their point if they want to make money, because they know Gen Xers and elder millennials are going to see it.
Isn't pretty much everyone still alive? There's only a few people that have passed, I believe.
Yeah, right.
I think if they bring back everyone that's in the movie at some, they don't have to be the exact character doing the exact same things, but incorporate everyone.
Yeah,
I think I'll watch it. But if it's going to be just like a movie of their kids and they're like not even in it or something like that, or is it going to be just of like, them years later?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm gonna have to look that up.
I'm just wondering how they're gonna go with it. Like, where's it going? Like, is it gonna be the same people? Like, if it is the same characters, it might be worth watching. I'd watch it.
Steven Spielberg's producing, and Chris Columbus, the original writer, is involved. No director or release date yet, though. So
we'll see.
So
I'd go see it. I'd go watch it.
I'd see it. I don't always like when they tap into the nostalgia, because sometimes, and I was talking to my friend Jordan about this about music, is I don't like listening to old bands sometimes that I used to like that I know don't hold up, because I want them to live positively in my. I know the Goonies would hold up over years, and you can watch it now, and it's just as good. But I kind of like those. Just kind of like I'm not into like the Disney remakes where they redo everything and everything's live action now, and there's like it's okay.
Yeah, you like
but
the original. Like, yeah, I mean, I hear. Yeah,
I'm a bit of a purist. I try not to be totally a purist, but I kind of like.
I mean, in that movie ended to end with like a question mark. You know, it ended. It was a movie. It was over. It wasn't like, you know.
Over. Now just do it again. I don't know.
If they don't make it, I'm not going to be sad. You know, I'm not.
That is a great movie. I like those movies. Those like coming of age.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
Yeah,
there's so many of them too. That's what I'm saying. There's
Sandlot's another one. I love the Sandlot.
I love the Sandlot. Natalia was just watching that the other day.
Yeah,
so good. I had to stop and watch it. Yeah, I had to stop and sit and watch it. But yeah, that's
so many great one-liners. I still say today, like, you're killing me, Smalls. Like that's iconic. Iconic.
Oh yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
All right. So number 4 for me is The Truman Show.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
I have, but it's been so long.
Just like technically, I guess it's sci-fi since it's kind of like, I mean, he is in a reality show without knowing he's in a reality show, I suppose, a scripted reality show.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot to talk about with that, like, and how he breaks out and kind of like figuring out what true relationship is in that, knowing like all the people in his life are there just faking it. They're actors.
Yeah.
And always being told, you know, to break out of it. It's pretty fucking brilliant. And Jim Carrey's brilliant in it.
I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Yeah, it's really good.
One of those movies, that's probably one I should watch again.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of those I watched when it came out, and then
like I'd say it's a dark comedy, but part sci-fi, part dark comedy. Yeah, I like dark comedies.
Yeah. As I was going through the list and stuff, also there was movies I forgot about that I just totally weren't even on my mind, and then when I saw the title, I went, oh my gosh, I love this movie. And I did. It's such a huge. So yeah, I will definitely do a list. So, but that's a good one. Yeah, I have to go back and watch that one again.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend that one.
Let's see. All right, my third one. My third one I had. This is my only comedy I had on here.
Well, Goonies is kind of a comedy, I suppose. Kind of
it is. Yeah, Goonies was my kind of cult kind of classic movie.
Definitely
kind of,
a cult classic. Yeah,
that was kind of that. That was my cult classic. Was Goonies. Step Brothers was my comedy. Pure comedy.
Okay. Yeah,
Step Brothers. I love that movie. I love that movie. I will watch it every single time I come across it. Just flipping through channels. I sing Boats and Hoes all the time. Sarah and I quote that movie like that movie is just we love that one. I don't know, it's just there's just so many lines, so much more room for activities, like something happens, medic. I'm always it's the medic, just all kinds of shit. It just, I don't know, it's weird with Will Ferrell and Riley, John C. Riley, like together. They just, I don't know what it is. I'm not a really big Talladega Nights guy. I'll watch it and it's funny. There's parts that are funny and stuff, but it's not. We're Step Brothers and they just, I don't know, that movie, they just fucking kill it. The Boats and Hoes, just everything together. Yeah, just everything is just.
Keith's got Mr. Sci-Fi himself, Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner.
I will say this: Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's a W. I kind of agree with that. I'd give it an honorable mention.
Raising Arizona.
It's a Wonderful Life. Okay. But yeah, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I need to rewatch that because that one is really fucking good. Blade Runner, I didn't get into as much. but I know.
I watched. Yeah, Blade Runner was good. I like.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It's good. Yeah, it's not my bag.
Racing Arizona was good. I remember that one.
That's a W. So my
what's your
top
number?
comedy is I
What
Love
was
You,
your
Man.
number three?
Number
Yeah,
three, I
I
Love
love
You, Man.
That's what I'm saying. I want to do a comedy thing because there's so many of
For
those.
me,
Too.
that movie, for some reason, it just hits perfectly. It's really, it's like, and me and especially Raphael, the guy who founded Choir, we always quote it at each other and never miss a beat. Like there's so many quotes from that fucking movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah,
there's that whole little like genre of comedy right there, and there's so many in those few years of there's so many good ones they pumped out that I don't think you can't make those movies now. I just don't.
Yeah, that era was kind of like Wedding Crashers.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it was.
I call it that. Like I'll give
McLovin that movie.
Yeah, like WWE, but back then WWF. I give them credit. It was like the Attitude Era. There was an era in time where it was the wild, wild west of everything. Where you had those movies, stuff like that, and then there was a time like in that era, same time in wrestling, there was girls just wrestling in bikinis and like thongs on TV, on primetime TV. You're like going, what is happening right now? And it was just like, you know what I mean? You're seeing all these different things, and they're like giving you the X, telling you to suck it, and on their.
I remember that, and we would do it at school too. Yeah. We would do it at school like nothing.
That's that whole time, that era, and movies were like the super bads, the like shit where they're like you're just like you can't make these movies like this today. And make it be as big as it was. I mean, it probably would be now because we don't have a lot of that. We don't have those types of comedies now.
I Love You, Man's a little less crude though. That I wouldn't compare it necessarily with Superbad and like
Pineapple Express. Like you don't have those.
That's another one. That's a runner-up for me. That's not on my top 5, but it's in my top 10 for sure.
I quote that every time we're like in a parking lot or some like walking around my wife, and I will quote that movie like a car almost comes and hits us and like, ooh, I almost got killed by a Daewoo. It's like we always like we'll say that all.
And I say Thug Life a lot. I say Thug Life a lot.
I quote that movie all the time. I love that movie. But but that's what like it's those that little there's like those years of call it the Attitude Era. Like just the Attitude Era of time.
Knocked Up, that movie too.
Yeah, I love Knocked Up. I just watched that the other day.
Knocked Up's really good.
Gosh,
one of my favorite lines for some reason. I think he's doing too much of the dice throw. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Those movies, I love those movies. It's 40-Year-Old Virgin. I just literally bought an action figure of Steve Carell, the 40-Year-Old Virgin, and
that movie
where they ripped the hair off of him.
Oh,
so it's his action figure with him missing hair right here.
Yeah,
I had to buy it. I'm like, I gotta buy this.
Did you get it at that auction?
No, I got it online. I was just flipping through stuff and I came across it.
Targeted ads, they got you.
I had to buy it. I'm like, I have. So I'm building I'm building stuff for office and wall, just unique things, just different weird, funny.
Every time I find weird shit that I grab if it's cheap enough.
I'm into pops, those pop characters.
Yeah. Well, you got one of yourself. I'm jealous.
Yeah, my wife made one, but I've been going and buying one, and like I'm buying stuff I love.
That's awesome. That's a good. That's a W. That's a W.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So once I get, I'm just building stuff out, and I'm gonna have them displayed. And I got some other ones, Parks and Rec, Andy Dwyer, stuff like that. But I'm just finding stuff like that, and it's.
I need to get some of those. Let's go. Let's take a quick break before we get to our top.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Need water.
Our top. Yeah. A little cotton mouth action.
I don't know why.
Yeah. It smells like weed in my house.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Dang neighbors.
I know, man. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. You saw that Sharky almost got into a fist fight?
Saw that. Dude just lost it.
I didn't know the context. Like, what was going on there? Do you know?
The only thing I read was that Sharky just came, like the seat was empty next to him. Like it was like, during commercial intermission, like not intermission, but like a commercial break. Yeah. And the mascots always just, they're just run around and they just do whatever.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Sharky is the San Jose Sharks mascot.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And he's just a big old shark head. Just
goofy.
He went and sat down next to this guy, an empty seat, and was like, doing the Sharky thing, like, oh, looking at him, and the guy didn't like it and stood up and like was telling him to get the hell, like maybe thinking like, oh, maybe he's kidding, like you're not expecting that interaction. You usually at a game, everyone's happy to see, and then the guy grabbed him and started like, and then the other people like came in and like stopped him, but it was pretty crazy. It was like a quick little clip, but I was like, whoa, that was the first time I've ever seen that. Someone getting mad at a
mascot. Just doing mascot shit.
Yeah, I
saw the Sharks won yesterday, so that was good.
Yeah.
They already have almost as many wins this year as last year, and they got like 20 games left. So they have improved. As bad as not great as they are, but they're also young. Jesus.
Do you know how many first round picks they have in the next 3 years?
No, 6.
5 first round picks.
So 2, 2, and 1.
2. It's crazy. So it's gonna be a fun team.
That's great. It'll be a fun team. All right, so number 2. Right. Are we on the number 2? Is that where we're at?
We're on number 2. My number 2.
Yeah. Okay.
And my number 2 is
this
movie is I watched this movie probably it came out in high school. So this was in 95, 96, 97 that time. And we would watch this. This era, this time, and this kind of movies. And for some reason, where we grew up, Paradise was really into rap and hip hop, like 90s rap.
Sure.
Random. Okay. It was weird at the time when I moved up there. Random, weird. It was the time, Snoop came out, Dre, all that,
Oh yeah, I was definitely into that for sure.
The Pot Leaf CD, the Chronic.
The Chronic, man, yeah.
So when I moved to where Paradise, I was the darkest thing around, 35 years ago. Paradise was known as Prejudice. And
there was actually Confederate and shit. All that shit.
Paradise was wild. Like there was no dark people at all. So I moved there. I stood out big time.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that saved me is I was from and born, in Southern California, Paramount, Compton, Long Beach. I was born in Downey, right there with all of that. I'd go to the Compton Swamp Meet and all that stuff. I would do those things during summer. And so I was like, whoa, I would bring stuff up from the swap meet, like hats, embroidered hats, LBC.
Going from Compton to Paradise is the most striking cultural fucking holy shit.
And then I was I actually grew up out in Ranch Cucamonga. My grandparents, everybody lived in Paramount, Compton. My aunt, her family still lives in Compton. We go down there. When we came down to visit, you stayed at my grandparents. That was right there, Paramount. Paramount is right, literally next door to Compton. Like we drove through Compton at 2 a.m. The streets and stuff. But so coming from there, they saw me differently, and I got a pass. So I'm like, that it was weird. That's why I tell my wife, like that's why I love that music so much, because it saved my ass in that time, because those kids saw me as like, oh, he's from there. We love that music right now. It was. It was weird. It was weird. So that's why this movie was like popular. We would watch this all the time. It's Menace to Society. You ever watch that movie?
Yeah.
That movie it's about Southern California gang members, O-Dog, Kane. I know every word. Kendrick had his throws tribute to it in his video. The Squabble Up video, I believe. Where he does throws all tributes to everything.
Yeah.
He's, shouts out that movie. It was so huge back then in that time. We would watch it every day, every Friday before a football game, and there'd be like 10, 12 guys watching it. That's what I'm saying. That that's what I'm saying. It saved my ass from not getting my ass beat up there.
Did you also like Boys in the Hood?
Yeah. It wasn't as much as Menace to Society. For some reason, Menace was just the one we loved. To the point to this day, I still want an 89, Mustang GT 5.0 and, triple gold Dayton's. That's that's like, kind of like secretly like my, if I had this, shit like throwaway money, like, that's
fuck you money.
Yeah, that's like a car you throw in the garage. Like I drive it once a year. It's that's that movie, how much it was with me. So, but that's what I'm saying. That whole era it was weird in a random place, Paradise of all places. That's in the mountains, hick country, hick town. For some reason, they love their 90s hip hop. Enough where that's where we got all our speakers, the 12-inch solar barracks kickers. Everyone in the parking lot would be thumping music and stuff. The teachers hated us.
Hated it.
Yeah, and that's what say. So I'm like, I think like hip hop. That's why I love Tupac and all that. They saved my ass.
Like when you were out, because I remember Paradise is different now, obviously, and especially since the
now
fire.
It's different. Yeah,
but back then, that is true. I think in my graduating class, he wasn't in ours. He was a grade younger. There's like one gay kid, one black kid, and there were some Mexican kids. That's about it. And it was a class of like 400. And that was that was where I went to high school. But I came from San Jose, so it was different too. Like, and I was in San Jose until junior high. So going from there to then Paradise, and in San Jose, it was like a lot of Asian kids, a lot of Mexican kids, some black kids, white kids, like. Then to Paradise, it was like, oh.
And what was crazy for me is I moved, so I was down in Southern California, and then we moved out to Rancho Cucamonga, San Bernardino. And that place was racist as fuck. Still, I think is. I had more shit happen to me there that was horrible than I ever did in Paradise. Because they saw that life, Southern California life, as like, whoa, like, wow.
They were like, Andy's about that life. We better not.
Yeah, and then like I go to because I'd go down and get the swap meet. They would embroider. You'd get the cheap hats. So I'd go and buy like hats were like $5-10. So I'd go down and buy these hats and bring them back up for everyone. And it'd say LBC and those hats back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'd go to the swap meet to get them. To the point where I saw Snoop at the Compton swap meet. Back before he was like really Snoop. Yeah. They blocked off a whole row. So you couldn't go down the whole row of it, but you could see him shopping, like they were doing whatever they're doing. But so I would go to those places. I would stay there, during the summer. So and I'd come back. So that's why I said that's why that's why that movie was so huge. And it was just weird. But
yeah, that's cool. And it's wild to go from one place like that to another and just like see the differences and
two different worlds.
Different worlds.
But then that was weird part is seeing one world trying to be like the other world was weird. And that place like that was weird. It was just it was weird. And it's I don't know. Yeah, that's that's the music. That's why I was able to meet all these people and hang out with them and be cool with them because we listen to the same music. I was like, whoa, this is unusual. Okay. You would think it'd be like all country, and there was country.
And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that
there was, but a lot of those guys that were country listened to 90s hip hop and rap enough where I know one of the guys became a country singer that I went to high school with.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he became a country singer, and he was actually kind of did shows and did like a mini tours and stuff. And but in high school and stuff, he was like. He dressed like, Ice Cube, the black White Sox hat.
Flat
bill, almost a flat bill back then. His hair slicked back, wore flannels, buttoned up all the time. Like, look back then. And then later became a country singer. Yeah, it's
Wranglers
wild.
And Chew.
You can probably look him up. Look him up. Google him. You might see him.
Probably could.
His name was Josh Keener.
Keener.
Yeah, Keener. I don't forget how exactly I spell it. Just Josh Keener, but maybe country music or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Trying to find a picture of him. Doesn't
But
look
he was,
familiar to me. Yeah.
yeah, he was my class. He was it was crazy, but
Okay.
but he was like, you know, gin and juice.
Now
Nothing but a G thing in high school, dressed like Snoop, with the hat, like, but
flat
it was
hat.
wild. Yeah, the black
Yeah.
and white flannels, buttoned up all the way to the top.
All the way to the top.
I didn't even dress like that. I'm like, I'm not dressing like that. Like I didn't, like, but it was that, and someone else, a friend of ours too, used to dress like that. Now he's totally different.
Yep.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So,
that's funny.
But
all right, well, my number 2 is The Godfather 1, Godfather Part 1.
The Godfathers, yeah, have to be.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
always on
2 is great too. So it's for me. I think just like, I mean, I watched it like 2 months ago, and it still holds up. I mean, there's parts where it's like, obviously, the movie would look a lot different now, but
Yeah,
that was 70s, right? I think 70s.
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? And technically a Christmas movie because happens during Christmas.
during Christmas. Yeah,
So add that to your top Christmas movies of all time.
yeah. That whole like Godfather era. There's same thing, kind of like in movies. There's that whole mafia.
You got the Goodfellas.
Movie. Yeah, Goodfellas. You got that era. Goodfellas. Even all the way up to Casino.
There's of course Sopranos, the show, but same.
Yeah,
premise. I mean,
there's I can't even go. I have to look. As soon as I start looking, I'll start remembering all the mobster style movies. There was like a little era in there too, where there was a bunch of little ones, not as popular. Even to the ones where they're comedy. Like My Cousin Vinny. He was kind of like that.
Yeah, and what's the one?
Oh,
there's one that
good. I love Goodfellas is good. Goodfellas is one of my favorites. Also, that's another good one. They're all in that.
The Departed. That's another one that's really.
That's another good one. That's another good movie.
Really fucking good. So Departed would have to be an honorable mention. And there's some other honorable mentions too, like
I have
Shawshank Redemption would be one.
Yeah, I love Shawshank. Andy Dufresne, to the point where I almost bought a Shawshank pop. I'm gonna get one. I'm trying to look for red. I'm looking for a red pop. I know they make one. It's another one to be one of my characters. I'm trying to go through and get those guys for the stuff and shows I liked. Shows I like a character, and it's funny because you'll find them too, and they're pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. How much are they?
Yeah, definitely. $10, $12. Sometimes you find them on sale for like $6.99.
And you keep them in the packaging, right?
Yeah, I leave them in the box. I don't take them out. I don't want to have them set them up and get all dusty and shit.
Yeah,
No, I keep them in the box. I'll display them. Like I have them up in there. The boxes are kind of cool because they have their name on the front of it. Like it'll say who it is.
Yeah.
So people, because if not, you're seeing a guy like, oh, he's a cop. But then you're like, oh, it's Carl Winslow. They have all of them too. They have the whole. There's like a group of them. That's the cool thing. It's like, like if I have a big enough wall or some display, I'm like, do I want to have like the whole Family Matter? Like there's like 4 of them.
Yeah,
just the stuff I liked and grew up with. Stuff like that. That's why I got like Parks and Rec. I got a Biggie Smalls. There's a Tupac I want to get. Just stuff like that.
They probably got rid of the Sean Combs one.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more of those. I guarantee they're out there. There's some out there.
Someone's got something somewhere. Yeah.
Did you see the baseball hats?
Yes.
I almost bought them when they came out. I
Oh,
wanted to buy an Angels. I wanted to buy the Angels.
Angels is so good.
I did. I'm like, oh, I so wanted to buy the Angels hat. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, the Angels.
So funny.
I should have. You see how much they're selling for now? Like $1,000.
Yeah, I saw one on $950 on eBay.
The Titans is hilarious. Also,
Titans is hilarious.
The ass hose.
Ass hose. And I guess back in the day there was an ass for A's.
Yes,
like
I saw that too. An old one.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dan. I'm like, oh.
I sent that to Ralph, who's a graphic designer. I was like, who the fuck approved this shit? And we were like,
you know, they did it knowing what they were doing. Going, this will never get approved.
Really?
Like, you think someone said this will never, like, was it like a joke? Like, this will never get approved.
Dude,
Let's just
so
do it.
Funny.
Because how could you not see it?
And even if the words, I mean, even if the words weren't like weird, like it's just bad graphic design, like just one logo on top of another. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
It's
but
lazy.
then like Boban for Boston Red Sox, Boban. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Well, it's like you're making it. Someone had to sit there and do it. Like, let's put this over here. And like when they showed when they first came out, it's because I have hats. I like hats, so I see a lot of the EEA, whatever when they come stuff, the new stuff, and I'm scrolling through them. I'm like, oh, okay, and I'm like, Titans. I'm like, is this and I went back and looked and then the Angels are anal, and then I scrolled up to see if it was like a parody account. Like, did someone just is this just a parody account? Because I was seeing it right away. So whoever made this had to have come on. This is wild. It was hilarious. Is that one of the big? Is it going to be like a big grift? Be one of those one of those things where I can't believe they approved it and it went through.
Practical jokes, and then they actually approved it. Oh shit! They approved anals.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I had a hat in high school that I would wear, and I would wear it for this specific reason. It was a South Carolina Gamecocks hat, and on the back, it just said Cox.
Yeah.
So I would wear my hat backwards all the time in high school. So I just walk around with a hat that said Cox on my forehead, and that's the only reason why I wear it. That's so stupid. You think back of the stupid shit we did, and I would wear a hat that said Cox on my forehead.
Yeah. Well, that's just a weird design choice too. You're like,
yeah,
I think you should put Gamecocks, so it doesn't just say Cox.
And that's what when you go to a game, I guess they yell Cox. Let's go Cox.
Yeah.
But that's the whole reason why I bought it. That's the only reason why. I'm not a South Carolina fan. I bought it because it said Cox on my forehead. And I was 15, 16 years old.
And here you are all these years later wishing you could have bought a hat that said anals.
Yeah, I almost bought a hat that said anals. Full circle.
Yeah, by the time I saw the design, they had already pulled that, Titas, and I think Asshos they might have pulled.
So do they still have some of them available?
Yeah, you can still get Boban. All the rest
now it's almost like Boban is just kind of funny. Now you just got to get it because it's funny. Because now everyone knows these hats.
Boban.
I'll have to look at also.
Yeah, they're still available. You can buy them right now on MLB Shop.
You can't get the damn Titas and the anals.
You can't get Titas and anals.
Damn.
Someone's got them out there though.
Oh yeah, I wonder if they were because I'm sure because they came out in the store. The ones that were ordered online, they might have been able to pull back.
I think they got rid of Feepies, the Philadelphia one.
Because you could if you ordered one online before they pulled them, they can be, if they haven't reached you yet, they can yank those back.
Mm-hmm.
They can just intercept the package. Which I would if I was delivering, I would get a message saying, "Hey, do not deliver this package. Bring them back." If you had a cool fucking driver, you would say, "Oh, I already delivered those packages. Sorry."
Yeah.
There's
Feepies.
Feepies. That's actually kind of funny. Feepies. That's gone also now.
Feepies is now gone.
Oh. Why? How do you make Feepies? What's wrong with Feepies?
It's just stupid. They should all be gone. They're stupid looking.
They are. They're all going to be worth money now, though. Watch, they're going to be worth something. Yeah. People are going to buy them.
I might have to buy a Boban.
So you might buy a Boban just to have a fucking Boban. You can have it up there on your shelf behind you, Boban.
Here we go, Boban. Here we go.
See, that's kind of a funny, stupid shit.
Boban Red Sox.
Yeah. See, that's kind of the funny stuff I would buy now.
Yeah.
I saw the Giants one. The San Francisco Giants one looks it's like, oh,
yeah. But yeah, if you could have one of those old ass hats where it's I think that they called it the MLB shadow. It says ass on it because the S is here and then the A S S ass. I'd wear that hat. That's dope.
Hey, why wouldn't I wear a hat with cocks? So
ass and cocks. We should when we go to the adult convention next year, we'll wear ass and cocks.
Did you see the college basketball players?
Doing what?
There was 2 college basketball players. One guy's name was.
Oh yeah, and they changed. Yeah,
they swapped jerseys. Like,
yeah, what were their names?
Gosh, I don't remember if it was like something to do with penis. Why is it always penis? What is it with guys and penis? Like, see, it's fucking obsessions.
Guys are obsessed.
Weird. It's just weird. I forget what it was, but it was like, I don't know. Same thing.
It was his name Dick. His last name was Dick.
Yeah, it could have been Dick. The other guy's name was
like White or Small or something.
Or was it White or is it Black? It was something. And you can see
it was something.
I don't know. It was one of those. It was one of those penises.
Yeah, penis joke.
But anyways,
all right. So what's your number one? We're down to number one, aren't we?
Yeah, your number 2 is Godfather. My number one will always be number 1 forever and ever and ever and ever, forever. And that is Young Guns. I love Young Guns.
You love using Young Guns.
My favorite movie. There's just it's just my favorite movie from when I was a kid.
Is that 80s, right? 1980s? Mm-hmm.
Look who's in that movie. Look at the lineup. Look who the actors in that movie.
You got Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney. I don't know what that is.
Dermot
Mulroney, Casey Sismazio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I've seen this a couple times.
I've seen that probably. I have probably watched that movie 100 times.
Oh, 100 times. Jeez.
I've seen it that many times for reals. Like, I'll watch it now like 2, 3, 4 times a year. But when it first came out when I was young, I would watch that thing
all the time. Huh?
Yeah. You know how kids would watch like Disney movies every day and shit like that? I'd be watching like Young Guns all the time. I don't know why.
My movie for that, watching all the time, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
For some reason, I loved that movie as a kid.
Yeah. And
I want to live in the fucking Sherwood Forest and live up in the things and all that shit.
And this wasn't a kid movie either. This was, this was like, so I would go, like when I said, when I go to Southern California, I'd stay with my grandparents, and my grandpa was into movies. He had so many movies, like the VHS. They'd have like bookshelves full of movies. So when I was there was nothing to do. What are you going to do with, your grandparents all day at a house? They take you grocery shopping and like you go, whatever, you do something once a week. And I was there for like 4 weeks every summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I would watch movies. I would watch that. And then that's where I got Young Guns. And then I'd watch Indiana Jones Temple of Doom as an honorable mention for me. I love that movie also.
Okay. Yeah. Lindsay's big into that.
Yeah. I love the Indiana Jones movies. I like all of them, but the Temple of Doom is my favorite out of all of them. Because of my grandparents, I watched, I don't know why, I just got hooked on it. Same thing with the Young Guns. So I would watch Young Guns almost every day when I was there. And then I'd watch like Indiana Jones, and I'd watch all these bunch of different old movies on VHS. Then I got to the point, you're trying to, you're just fucking watching the same ones over and over. And that's why I just love that movie. My grandpa was into cowboys and stuff. We had a ranch at the time, and, we'd go animals. So it was just, that cowboy era, but Billy the Kid. I love that movie. I love it. So there's that. That's why. Is it the greatest movie ever? No. But for me, I'll watch it.
But sometimes it's not about being like the greatest, like what is it rated amongst the critics and all that. It's just about when a movie hits you also. It's like you could watch it. You could, like, if I watch it now, it's not going to hit me the same it did. Even if I loved the movie, it's not going to hit the way it's going to hit for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like music, same thing.
Same thing
with music. There's some music like, it's just, I don't know, something, but
yeah. My favorite Kendrick album is Damn. Is it his best album? Probably not, but it hit me at a certain time where I was like, damn, this album, I love this album. Yeah. Faux show. Well, my number one's obvious. It's The Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. I love those
Specifically,
movies
The Fellowship of the Ring. I like The Fellowship of the Ring. It's my favorite.
So what order does it go? It goes
The Fellowship of the Ring, and then The Two Towers, and The Return of the King.
Okay. Yeah. I'll the other ones. I'll watch those. They're
I
fun
watch
to
once
watch.
a year. I watch them once a year.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. They're Do you watch them all in a row? You binge it?
Not generally. I mean, I generally don't have. I mean, the extended editions are like 4 hours long. It'd be like a 12-hour marathon.
See, those movies, like those are the days where
if you could have a day like that, sure.
Like a rainy day, like just a stormy day where you're just like, I'm not going out. I'm not going outside. There ain't nothing to do.
Yeah.
That's when I'll bust out the bag of weed, order some pizzas because, pizza even cold's good. So it's something that could sit all day. Just order your pizza, whatever you got. And then just like put that on from number one and just grab a blanket, go out and smoke a big bowl and just curl in the blanket and just watch till you're not high anymore. Then go back out, smoke again.
So you're not high.
Go to the bathroom.
Or smoke every time. You could smoke every time they smoke in the movie.
Yeah. Or I just go till I'm not high again, then back out, smoke another bowl, go to the bathroom, grab some drink, or a little snack, boom, lay back down, boom, another hour and a half. And just kind of just rotate all day. Like that's those type of movie days. That's like that's the movies I would watch, on those days would be like that. Because I like those movies too because it's dark outside. The movies are dark. So it's like it just I don't know. It's one of those that just works. It just works, especially if you have a good surround sound and stuff. It's like it just works. But those, that's my love those movies.
The soundtrack is my favorite soundtrack. It's Howard Shore is brilliant. The way he uses theme and melody and counter melody and like it's just so well thought out, even to like what key the theme starts in and where it ends up. It goes all around. It ends up in the same key at the end. It's just really I like when art is really thought out like that. Like it's like it's like a Kendrick song. Like there's attention to detail in everything that's done. Yeah, except for the one car. I think in one shot there's a car in the background, way off in the distance.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, it was like random, like in the back, just like on a road. You see like a little car just
way the fuck out there.
I mean, now it's gone because they've removed it. But I think on the old DVDs, if you have the old DVDs, I think it's you can. I think it might still be on there.
That's not as bad as fucking Game of Thrones, though. Wasn't there a Starbucks cop? The infinite.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking Starbucks, but I'm like, well, that wasn't Lord of the Rings. That was something else. It was Game of Thrones. Yeah, it was like a Starbucks cup on like a table or something. They were probably just doing this set shit, and someone set their Starbucks down, and
that's bad. That's tough. Yeah,
that's just lazy editing, lazy everything. Like that.
Someone's getting fired.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah, that
was Those are the movies back in Disney had a lot too, and those were creepy because someone had to draw that in. That wasn't a mistake.
The veiny tower in Little Mermaid.
Yeah, there's some and that's the thing. You had to like draw that. That's not like an accidental like I left my Starbucks in the scene.
That's a throbbing veiny ass dick on that.
Yeah, that's. And then the Lion King had some. Little Mermaid had, and then Aladdin, I think, had another one.
Doesn't someone get a boner at one of the weddings or something?
I think it was Aladdin or something. Like it whispers in their ear, and then like all of a sudden his like pants go like it's
something like that.
Yeah. And you don't notice it when you're watching the cartoon until they point it out, and you go back and you're like, oh my god, like they had to draw it in there. So there's like just creepers.
I think in Lion King, is it Simba like lays down and the leaves flutter up and it says sex or something?
Yeah, it goes into sex. And then as soon as they tell you, now you can't unsee it.
Right. You can't.
It's something that you don't see, and then they say it, and then you look and you're like, damn it.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Those are weird. The doing that in like a kid's movie is
why? That's creepy.
If it was like an adult cartoon, I'm laughing. You know,
Yeah, like Hot Dog Party or whatever.
laughing. But like like that's
Yeah,
like
Family Guy
Disney
movie.
kid movies. Yeah, like
Yeah.
if it's on the Family Guy, like those are like adult cartoons, whatever.
Yeah, Adult
Even if it was
Swim.
on like Simpsons or some shit like that, I'm like,
Sure.
okay, it's like
It's probably not
you're
even
getting
their
away with it.
style, but I'll allow it.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. But if something like that happened, I'm like, oh well, it's
Yeah.
Simpsons. It's not like it's a kid like aimed towards
Yeah.
kids. But
Although I watched
those
Simpsons
are like,
when I was young.
yeah, Simpsons. I wasn't huge. I've seen them because how can you not just growing like you watch them? But I wasn't
I was
diehard
into 'em.
Simpsons.
Pretty
Yeah,
hardcore.
see, I
for
wasn't as much.
my elementary
Uh,
years, definitely. Yeah, and early junior high years, yeah.
Mostly
Other
movies,
honorable
but
mentions. I mean, you got to put Pulp Fiction's got to be up there if
Pulp
that's your
Fiction's a
thing.
good one.
Schindler's
You had to-
List,
Schindler's List, another good one. Yes, I remember.
and
that.
I already
We went
mentioned
and watched that in school.
Shawshank.
Top Gun. Top Gun was always
For
one that
yeah,
was one of
for
my favorites growing up.
people love Fight
Another one
Club.
I loved, Dazed and Confused. I love
Oh,
Dazed
yeah.
and Confused.
Definitely.
Enough where I bought a character. That was the other character I bought. I bought the McConaughey character. The all right,
Okay.
all right.
All
The
right.
creepy old dude.
Well, speaking of him though, Interstellar is one of my favorite movies.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't? It's a
Uh-uh.
mind bender, but it's a really not. It's one of those stories that really tries to take theoretical physics and like do it like accurately, I guess, and what it would mean.
No.
So it's a lot of like trippy quantum stuff, but it's a really good story. Did you ever see The Martian also?
No,
Oh, that's really good too.
I haven't seen that one.
I would recommend that. Silence of the
No.
Lambs. That's in most people's top whatever.
Oh, this one. I love this movie too. It's an old one. Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay.
Do you remember
yeah.
that movie?
I don't remember.
I love
it
that's
well.
another. That's where the Raiden, from Raiden character
Mhm.
from Street Fighter, like Mortal Kombat.
Uh-huh.
This big, like I don't know if they got the idea or who got the idea from who. If that's a real like character, same thing. The electric guy. It's Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
It's that movie's so good. It's one of those movies too. There's so many movies like we gotta have like a movie night. Just like those movies you just get high and watch because there's
when I come out to Vegas, we should probably do Pineapple Express. Get stoned and watch Pineapple Express. Right?
Yeah, it's a funny one.
Pretty obvious one.
There's a few
Cheech and
movies
Chong.
like that. There's Cheech and Chong movies.
Up in Smoke.
Cheech and Chongs are hilarious. There's a couple. Up in Smoke. There's
Okay.
other ones. But I'm like, I'd rather watch another one. But like I love Days Confused. But like Big Trouble in Little China is one that you watch fucking stoned. You're like, whoa, fuck, because it's bad like special effects too, but there's funny shit, and it's like it's a weird one. I don't know if it's like not even slapstick comedy kind of, but it's not. It's action.
Is it accidentally funny?
Yeah, there's things like that.
Yeah.
And then there's like it's one of those movies like going, oh, it definitely can't make today. I think there's a lot.
Oh no, some of those 80s movies.
Yeah, a lot of. It's like
There's got to be a lot of racism.
That's the funny thing too when you're watching these movies. Yeah.
Oh, sometimes you watch it, you're like, ew.
Yeah, you'll watch like old sitcoms. Like just old
cartoons also. Old cartoons are bad. Pepe Le Pew.
Holy cow. And like back then I remember watching this and like I didn't catch that because I had no clue. When you're younger, it's like, whoa, now you're like, holy shit.
How the fuck? Yeah, it's cringe. Some of it's pretty cringy.
You know what movie I like, and the guy and actor I like is Jason Statham movies. I actually like him as an actor.
You like those?
For my action dude, like Crank, I believe it is. When he did, I love that. I love that movie.
Didn't he do?
I love that movie. Driver.
The Meg.
Did he? Yeah, that? I think I saw some of that. Yeah, I think he might have.
Elise and I love watching those bad like B movies, like Meg and Meg 2. And then it gets real bad with like Sharknado and all those kind of
those things.
I don't really dig with those.
I didn't watch that one, but see, I'm a huge Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is that's my all time favorite actor.
Yeah.
I just love. There's so many movies of his I love. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's wild.
He's out here. He lives out here
in
so,
Vegas.
Yeah.
That one I had a tough. There was one where wasn't he was trying to solve a crime where they were making like snuff films. Wasn't that one of them?
Yeah, that was 9mm.
Yeah, that's tough. I was like, I watched that as a kid. I was like, what the fuck? Why was I watching this?
Yeah, so many different movies. Con Air.
Con Air. Yeah.
Snake. Was it Snake Eyes?
Yep.
Face Off. Him and John Travolta switch faces
off.
There's just so many movies he did. Like it. In different
What's
ones.
funny, and then he did like Left Behind, which is like the ultra religious rapture movie, which is really weird. he did the remake. Yeah, I think it was Kirk Cameron back in the day, and then Nick Cage did the remake. Which is
he doesn't. Wild. He'll do it. He don't care. And then he's
sure. I'll do that.
What was the other one? Leaving Las Vegas?
Yeah.
That one he's good. And then he'll do like he did the movie Pig. That was a good movie. I went and watched that.
Ooh, that sounds familiar.
That was recent. Yeah, and then he'll do a movie like Pig. Like he doesn't care if he likes. Like, he's one of those guys where it's like if I like the role, if he likes the role, he'll do it.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's not. He'll whatever. All right, yeah, and I'll kill it.
Hey, what's up, Doa Deer? Just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. Hello from Idaho. Hey, what's up? We're just about to wrap up too, so you have to pop through an hour earlier next time. I guess that's about it, huh? Sharks play tonight? No, they don't.
No, they played last night, I believe.
Yeah, they won 4-2.
Yeah,
Huzzah.
I know. Almost a hat trick for Graf, but yeah, they're killing it. So that's been nice. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better and better. I think what's gonna happen, they're not gonna use all 5 of those picks, those first rounds. I think they're gonna use that for trade. You're gonna have to trade something. Because I mean, that's a lot of first round picks. Next year,
eventually you have to pay all those motherfuckers.
Next year, I think, are gonna wind up with a number 1 pick again, which is crazy. 2 in a row. Yeah. And their last year's pick has a good chance of winning Rookie of the Year. And if they get 2 more first rounds next year, it's like this team in like 3 years is gonna be good. It'd be crazy. It's gonna be fun to watch. So it's going to be, if their goaltending holds up, and so far from what I've seen has been pretty good, it's going to be a fun team to watch. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think in a couple of years, on that third year, they're going to use maybe a first round or something to like lure in more of a veteran, a good player. That's, hopefully by then they're like turning that corner where a player like that's going to want to come in and try to grab a cup. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the only way you're going to get played, like what they did when San Jose made the run the last time. That's the only way they're getting a Burns type. That's the only way they're getting those guys is having a run for the cup. That's the only reason why those guys would come to San Jose. There's no other reason why you go to San Jose. Mm-hmm. It's like you're going there because you actually probably believe like they have a chance, and they made it to the finals. So they were right, and they were always competitive for those years. Those Burns, Thornton. They were, playoffs for, they
were always competitive. There just never seemed to be like, I take that back. There was some earlier teams that I felt like gutted when they lost. But even when they made the cup, I felt like we were underdogs for sure to Pittsburgh, and it just never with Carlson. It never quite clicked. I thought that
Carlson was at the end of it. Carlson was at the end.
Yeah,
he was at the end of that run. It was like the last. That was their Hail Mary.
That was the Hail Mary.
Maybe he.
This team's going to blow up if it doesn't work, but we're going to go all in.
I think they were hoping he could buy him another couple seasons of a kind of a run. Not really even winning it, but at least getting him.
Injuries kind of plagued his stint too.
Yeah, and he's playing well now in Pittsburgh, so
that's good. Good for him. All right. Well, that's all. Make sure you rate, review this, subscribe to this podcast, and we will see you on the flip. On the flip side. Laters.
Have a good weekend. Got the weekend.
Freaking weekend.